Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Getting It Right, the Antiques Game Show where you can play along at home, so get involved, answer some questions, make some comments, and somebody may well win something terribly exciting. I know, don't get carried away. Right, let's play Getting It Right and meet today's contestants. So let's start with you, Sarah. Tell us all about you.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm 50 years old. I'm from Selby in North Yorkshire. I'm a Capricorn.
Right, good.
So it's my birthday very soon.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you. Yeah, a couple of months' time. I have 2 jobs. I'm a waitress in my friend's tea room and I work in Wilko's as a customer service assistant.
Right.
Should I have mentioned that?
Yes, absolutely. Give Wilko's a plug. Who cares?
And little Miss Muffin's tea room in Selby.
Miss Muffin's tea room, I've been there. It's very nice indeed.
It's beautiful.
Which do you prefer?
Well, the tea room one's quite new.
Yeah.
So that one at the moment. But I'm lucky that I like both my jobs, really.
Good. And what about antiques? Do you have a house full of antiques?
I have a house full of what my kids would call tat.
Hello, kids.
I like to walk around charity shops and pick up pieces that I like, good quality pieces.
Right.
I can buy things quite cheap in charity shops, and it just fills all my cupboards. And
Any big finds?
I did a couple of last year. In fact, I found what I thought was a blue drinking beaker, and I paid 50 pence for it, and I thought it's a really nice drinking cup. And I took it home and I sent this picture to my friend. I went, this is really nice, it's really tactile, that bark design. And
Will this take long?
No, I'm nearly there. And my friend said, she went, I think that's Whitefriars. I said, all right, okay. And I was going to an auction in Goole, and she persuaded me to put this piece into auction, and the auctioneer said,
get to the money bit.
She says, I don't think it's Whitefriars. And I went, I think it is. He went, well, what I'll do is I'll put it in as potential Whitefriars, and the Whitefriar buyers will see it. And I paid 50 pence for it, and it sold for £1,600.
Whoa! Give her a round of applause for that.
It was quite a rare piece, but I didn't recognise it as Whitefriars. The charity shop didn't recognise it.
Well, you need a job here at Elstob and Elstob. He's looking for good valuers, aren't you?
Yeah, but that was
okay.
Just I think.
All right, that's very interesting. Who do you think's going to win today's show? Before you make your mind up, don't forget, get involved. We're going to introduce you to Mark. Mark, tell us all about you.
I'm a retired Army GP, long retired. I am, like Adrian Mole, 80 3/4.
Okay.
I have some interest in silver wine labels and in very distressed brown furniture.
You're in the right. We love distressed brown furniture.
No, I can only afford distressed, and I like playing with it. I was involved in helping people to furnish a house in Ireland, so I spent a lot of time at Addison's in Barnard Castle.
Where he used to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so those would be my particular interests. And we have a house full of distressed, tired, exhausted furniture.
Well, isn't that the best way to have it, really?
It's
So it's bomb-proof, isn't it?
It's brown furniture, glorious craftsmanship, lovely wood, 200-year history, 250-year history, and it's going for
marvellous.
Peanuts. It's a disgrace.
It is. It's environmentally friendly and so cheap it is unbelievable. But anyway, I don't know whether we have any furniture in today's round. David Elstob has picked the pieces.
No furniture.
Have we got no furniture?
Not yet.
Okay. Shall we dive then into round 1?
Let's go.
Are you ready, you two?
Absolutely.
Okay. Glamorous assistant, here she comes.
The star of the show.
She's getting a good following this one. To Sarah, please.
Oh.
Right. Now, Sarah, I want you to examine it closely and speak as you think. Mark can't get involved just yet.
Right.
Tell us what your instinct is. What is it? Who made it? When? What's it worth?
It's a plate, obviously, and it looks hand-painted, and it looks like it's in the style of Clarice Cliff. And, yeah, it is Clarice Cliff. Hand-painted.
When was it painted?
Gosh.
I don't think the base is going to tell you.
It doesn't say that. So, the 50s, 1950s, I can't remember when Clarice Cliff was around, but it looks like a very early piece. It looks like it's been painted by a child in a pottery painting studio. I'm really sorry to say that, but it's she's gone outside the lines. Can you see?
A bit pedantic, if you don't mind me saying so.
But I mean, it's not something I would pick up because, as I said, it looks like it's been painted in a hand-painted pottery studio.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
okay, to sum up, because you might be taking all day with this one.
Yeah, sorry.
You say it's Clarice
It's Clarice Cliff, 1950s, hand-painted, and it's a plate.
And it's a plate. Thank you very much. Okay, hold that thought. Now over to Mark. Go for it, Mark. Tell us what you think. Did Sarah get everything right, or did she get anything wrong, more importantly?
I'm not at all familiar with Clarice Cliff, her work. I think she was very slightly earlier than that, maybe. I'm just concerned about the quality of it. I wonder if there are any forgeries around, but it's got all the right marks. It's in good condition, apart from some loss of the edges.
What date would you say, Mark?
1940.
1940. Okay, hold that thought. David Elstop, mark some points. Who got it right? Who got it wrong so far?
I mean, it was an easy piece to start with, wasn't it? It tells you what it is on the back.
Well, there you go. I mean, sometimes just look at the back of anything.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I give you a point each for saying Clarice Cliff.
Okay.
It is crudely made, but most of Clarice Cliff's things are crudely painted. Dates to about 1929, 1930.
Very early one.
Is in nice condition, as Mark said. Nice dish.
It is. Okay,
Couple
so
of points each.
2 points each.
2 points each.
Really? Okay, he's been very generous there.
Yes,
If you've
he
seen
is,
the
yeah,
show
yeah,
before,
yeah.
normally he's quite hard.
He
Don't
is,
worry,
yeah.
his true nature will shine through any moment. Okay, so hold that thought.
Yeah.
This is now the valuation round. So grab
Okay.
yourself a card and a pen each. You've got 2 points each.
Thank you.
What is that Clarice Cliff piece worth? Remember, it's 1920s, early 30s. And, you know, Clarice Cliff, it's meant to look like it's hand-painted, Sarah.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it generally does.
What is it worth? One figure. Make your minds up.
Okay.
Okay? And Mark, are you ready? The audience are whispering amongst themselves here. Are you ready?
Sort of.
Okay, we'll go Mark, you first.
170.
£170,
And I
Sarah.
went for 145.
145. David Elstop, now this is an interesting collection because we've got 150 pieces we're
Yes,
selling
yeah,
here.
I've seen, yeah.
One of our viewers on YouTube has sent 150 pieces of Clarice Cliff. It's
Wow.
going to be sold here shortly.
Thank you very much.
I know,
for watching.
great. Yeah, thanks for
That's
watching.
my least favourite piece of it.
Have you seen the collection?
I've seen some
You've
of
seen
it.
some of it.
yes,
It's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. It is
So,
beautiful.
David, who got closer to the valuation on that plate?
Sarah was closest.
And what is the value?
£100.
£100 value. Sarah, well done you. Give Sarah a round of applause. Marvellous, you get 1 point. So at the end then of round one, we've got Sarah on 3 points and we've got Mark on 2. How did you do? Come back for round 2. And welcome back then to round 2. Before we get started, here's a little question for you at home. You've just seen the Clarice plate. Did you recognise the design? Let us know in the comments down below. And remember, David and I will be picking a winner at random later for comments, answering questions. Get involved. We need your help to push these YouTube videos through the algorithms. So get involved and you may well get yourself a cup. But this is round 2. Now then, shall we have our glamorous assistant? Please do. And this glamorous assistant is for Mark.
Please put your hand underneath. if you can.
You should have told her that earlier. She's not an expert,
No,
apart from being a glamorous assistant.
That's obvious.
Right, Mark, this is all about you. Sarah cannot get involved here. Now, this to me looks like it might be a bit of you, this one, Mark. Tell me what you're looking at. What is it? When was it made? What is it made from? Can you favour me a little bit, Mark? Just point it to me, show the camera.
Yes.
What is it made from? When, where, what?
It is extremely heavy. It is a carriage clock without a case. It is English, I think, on the basis that it says hands on around the back. so the instructions are in English because quite a lot of these are French. I would think it's brass rather than gold. It does not have a maker's name that I can see on the front.
Hold it there for me. What date is it, Mark?
I'm just look. It doesn't have a maker's name on the front, but it has one on the bottom.
Can you read the maker's mark?
No, it just says hands and quality quarters only.
It's a bit of an
Silent.
anticlimax.
Yes.
Okay. You still haven't given me the date. I'm desperate for the date.
I think it's quite recent, and I would have thought it's 20th century, and I'm going to go for 1930. 1920.
1920. Have you made some notes? Are you just writing your memoirs here?
Yeah.
Sarah, grab the clock. What has anyone actually told us what this clock is called? Strictly speaking, called. Has anyone actually said what
Yes,
it is?
yes.
Oh, they have. He called it a carriage clock.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay. Well done, Mark. Give him a point for that.
Well, is it?
It is
So-
very, very heavy, and it is very beautiful, and I would have it in my house. It does have something on the back. What does that say? Harem?
Oh, show it to me.
At the back there, it does have some marks on where it says hands. That's
Hands.
the winding mechanism there.
Yeah.
But up there it does say something. I'm not very good on clocks.
Show me the
but I know
face
I
again.
like it.
And how old is it?
I think on the hands and quarters only. Solent. Oh gosh, I've
I
got
think
no
that's-
idea.
This is going to be a very long show.
Yeah.
I think it's silent.
Yeah.
Silent, it says.
Silent, yes.
Go on, give us a date. Give us a date.
Right, okay, so I'm going to go for 1930s. I like it.
And
I
where
have
was it made? England, France?
I think it's English.
English.
Yeah, because it says on the bottom, it's got a key on the bottom that says hands or silent and quarters only. So it's the
So
chime.
it's in English.
Yeah,
Okay. Is
so
there
it's
any
chime.
questions that I should be asking here? Any questions you want to ask?
There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of
There's a
questions.
lot of questions, David.
There's a lot of
Okay,
questions.
okay. Hold that thought. Put the clock down, please, Sarah, very carefully, because David Elstop's looking terribly
He's
worried.
looking
I must
really
say. Yeah.
nervous because I'm throwing it around.
Okay, I don't know what information you got there. Did you get much information from that? I mean, there's
No,
obviously
there's
a
not a
clock.
lot. No.
David, over to you. Award some points.
I mean, I'm starting to think, Sarah, that your charity shop buy was luck rather than judgment.
Ooh!
Gosh.
You see, I told you his true nature will shine through.
Yeah, yes.
It is fabulous quality French carriage clock with an alarm and a push-button repeater on it. Circa 1890. Lovely, lovely quality thing.
Okay.
Gilt brass. Adjusters on the bottom. You can just wear it striking, or if you want it silent. Fabulous quality. Wonderful thing.
Okay, so you really rate that.
Very high.
These two, I don't think, rated it that highly at all, did
Well,
they?
that's not
I
surprising.
said I'd buy it.
Yeah, I know, but for about 2p.
Yeah, for
In your
a
charity
pound.
shop.
If it was a pound in charity
Right.
shop.
Are you going to award any points here?
Yes, I've given Mark 2, but I can't remember why.
Somebody just shouted no.
Carriage clock and brass.
Yeah.
So Mark gets 2 points.
But you.
Does Sarah get any points?
1.
What for?
I think she just reaffirmed that it was a carriage clock.
Oh,
I said it was a clock.
okay, here we go. This is
And
getting
you
complicated.
liked it. You recognised
I liked it. I recognised it was quality.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, let me award the points then. So Mark, you get 2, so you are on 4. Sarah, you get 1. You're very good. You're keeping this a tight competition. So you then, Sarah, are on 4. This is very good. But here we go. Here is the valuation round.
Okay.
Get this right if you can. Mark, get your card, please. And a pen.
Thank you.
What is it worth? One figure. Let us know how close you get to this figure. Give us your instinct. Are you ready, Sarah?
I'm ready, yeah. But
Okay.
I'll wait for Mark to finish because I
Okay.
don't want him to cheat.
Does he look like a bit of a cheater?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go-
I've gone, right, sorry, because David rates it so highly, I've gone for £600.
£600, Sarah.
I've gone higher. 1,200.
£1,200. I think I know where this is going. David Elstop
£600.
is closer.
Well done.
Whoa! Well done!
Right on the nose.
proud are you of your mother? Right on the nose.
Right on the nose.
Wow. Do you give her 1 point or 2 points?
give her 2.
You're going to get 2 points.
Yeah.
2 points, Sarah. I think that's only fair, don't you? 2 points. I think that's good. So currently then we have Sarah on 6 points. Mark, you've got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
You are on 4. But don't worry, this is the relaxing time. We're now going to head into round 3, which is tea and history. So grab yourselves a cup of tea. Welcome back. This is Tea and History. And I think on today's history lesson, I want to talk about Clarice Cliff. I adored that plate we saw earlier on, and I adore Clarice Cliff because Clarice Cliff is one of my all-time heroes from the 20th century. She's a working class girl, barely any education whatsoever, but she became one of the best known ceramicists this country has ever known. She's a real inspiration. Born in 1899 in Stoke-on-Trent, in the Potteries, called the Potteries for obvious reasons. Stoke-on-Trent, around that area, hundreds of factories coming and going, making pots and cups and sending them all over the world. She started work at about the age of 12 in one of the potteries. And she was so clever because these pottery girls would be paid per cup, per plate. And so they would work in specific departments just painting one thing for their whole career. The more they painted, the more they earned. So they didn't want to move from department to department because they'd have to relearn new skills. But not Clarice Cliff. She had great ambition. She asked to move from one department to another. So she was relearning all of the time. She got involved with management. She was outspoken. She had ideas. She was brave. She had tenacity. And she started mixing with the owner of the factory, Mr. Coley. And Mr. Coley allowed Clarice Cliff to paint the damaged plates, the seconds, in her own designs. She was desperate to let this design come flooding out. She gave these designs, these bizarre patterns, these fantastic patterns, to the salesman and said, show them to the retailers, see what they think. The salesman came back and said, do you know those bizarre patterns, those brightly coloured geometric designs? The retailers loved them. Coley said, start producing them. And in no time, Clarice Cliff had a department full of bizarre girls, painters, 70 of them creating the Clarice Cliff designs. She even had 4 boys. Do you know that? We think of them as the Clarice girls, the bizarre girls. There was 4 boys. Imagine that, working with 70 women. I mean, that's a dream come true, isn't it? Even you would do well there. Even you, David Osborne. She is amazing. Things moved on. She married the owner of the business, Mr. Coley. She became Mrs. Coley. She ended up in the country house. What a heroine. Fantastic woman. But my question to you, and see if you get this right. Clarice Cliff was born in 1899. So was Clarice Cliff A, born an Edwardian, B, a Victorian, or C, a Georgian? There's your question. Let us know how you do at home. Take your cards. Write on the back of your cards. Edwardian, Victorian, or a Georgian. What was she? Sarah's going to do very badly on this one.
I'm copying.
Don't be copying. Mark, being an ex-military doctor, you're going to know this. You know your history. Military men always love their history.
Well, she's military as well.
Are you military as well?
Yeah.
She never said that. You're not.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I expect you both to do... If you don't get a point in this, I'm going to deduct a point.
Okay. That's not fair, is it?
Right, this is going to be fun. Okay. Right, Sarah first. What was she?
I've guessed Edwardian.
Clarice Cliff was an Edwardian, according to Sarah. Very bad. Mark?
She was Victorian.
Of course she was. Give Mark a round of applause. She was a Victorian, born
by 1 year.
by 2 years.
2 years.
1901, Edward came to the throne. She was just a Victorian. Okay, very good. 1 point to Mark. Mark is making a bit of a comeback. So we have Sarah miserably not scoring anything on that one. Ren, that's ridiculous. No wonder she's not in the forces anymore. She's still on 6. And Mark, well done you. You're on 5. All to play for. Right. this is the final round, and it's the David Elstob, I'm an Antiques Expert round. Come back for round 4. And welcome back. This is the David Elstob, I'm an Antiques Expert round. Shall we have the Glamorous Assistant?
Let's.
Right, Glamorous Assistant, here she comes. Oh, she's even running these. No, not to David. No, to the contestants.
sorry.
David's not playing this game. He's the expert. You'd think she'd know by now,
Well.
seriously.
She's been drinking already.
Oh, well. Yes, yeah. Okay, now then, you two, you can share this around.
Okay.
We don't want you to say anything because David Elstob, I'm an Antiques Expert, is going to tell you everything he knows about this thing. Show it to me.
So this is silver from the William and Mary period, circa 1690, and it's by a silversmith called Thomas Kedder. Very nice piece, unusual piece. I would like to know what it is.
Oh.
So, David, the William and Mary period is about 1690.
This is about 1690.
So, 1690, 300 or so years old. Show it to me, Sarah. Nice and slowly.
Can we open it?
Absolutely.
Yes, nice and slowly. That's it. You open it up.
No.
What about the engraving, David? Is that original?
Yes, original. Maker's mark only on it, on the ends. And even that piece is original. It has the maker's mark on that too.
So, David, would this be something that somebody would keep in their pockets? Would it travel around with
It
them?
would travel around with them, and obviously, I mean, it was an incredibly expensive piece of kit in the day.
Okay, you two, have you had enough time to examine this object?
I know what it is.
And, David, to help them a little bit, what's it worth?
£1,000.
£1,000. So,
William and Mary. So it's
William and Mary, nice early piece of silver. Now, William and Mary silver is pretty rare, isn't it?
Period silver, that date.
Okay, what is it? Did you spot it? These two are now going to write down their answers. What was that little silver object used for? Quite a specific purpose, I would suggest. All right? Have you
Yes.
seen anything like that in your travels?
I've seen something like that on a certain other show that you do, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, which show was that?
One of the other two.
One of the other two. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a bit more interest next time, Sarah. Don't mind. Yeah. This is the better one anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll go. Should we go Sarah first?
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah,
Right.
what is it?
I think it's a nutmeg grater.
A nutmeg grater.
Yes.
How interesting, Mark.
nutmeg grater.
It's a nutmeg grater, David Elstob.
Nutmeg grater.
It's a nutmeg grater. Give him a round of applause. Wowzers. Right, that is very interesting. Okay, so 1 point each.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the round and the end of the game then, we have Sarah on 6 points. No,
7.
thank you, David. We have Sarah on 7 points and we have Mark on 6 points. Sarah's the winner. Give her a round of applause.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Isn't Mum amazing? Isn't she good? Hasn't she done well? Now, here's a quick question for you at home. David mentioned the William and Mary period. When was the William and Mary period? Put your answers down below. And remember, all comments are much appreciated. Likes, shares, and all that kind of thing. We'll pick someone at random and you will win a signed Getting It Right mug. Hasn't this been good fun?
It's
Yeah, excellent.
You two have been brilliant. Give them another round of applause. Goodbye, everybody.